Okay everyone, so this is the information about Spec-Racer Spider, our second mech racing season. Now the rules regarding your mechs, as the name suggests, it's only spiders. The exception is no Anansi heroes. You cannot use the Anansi hero spider. Any other version of the spider is perfectly legitimate. Compared to Spec-Racer Locust last season, you can build the mech whatever way you want, whatever engine you want, whatever weapons you want, and you can change them between races. So pay attention to the tracks that have been shown, and you may want to build specific versions of your spider between races. However, I do stress that the model that you take is the model you use throughout the entire season. So if you pick a 5K, then you have to stick with a K. If you pick a D, you'll stick with a D. But you can rebuild that however you wish between each race. Points will be the same as last season, so you will get 24 points in first place, and you will get it will descend there 2 points per position downwards, so 24, 22, 20, 18, so on and so forth, until you get to the last finishing position. You will get 3 points per kill, so kills are important as they can jump you up. Even if you're in the mid area of the pack, you can suddenly end up with the same number of points as, or more than, the person who ended first, depending on how many kills you get. So bear that in mind when you're building your spiders. You will also have the opportunity this season to get 3 prizes. There's a prize for first place, which is a copy of Rise of the Tomb Raider. There's a second place prize, which is Warhammer End Times Vermintide. And third place, you will receive a copy of the Banner Saga 2. These games will all be via Steam Key, so if you have a Steam account, then I'll be sending them to you in private messages after the stream ends. On the 4th race finishing, and we've tossed up the points and we've determined the winner, you will receive that prize then. So if you haven't got a Steam account, unfortunately I can't help you with that, but if you want to take part and you win one of the keys, you're free to do whatever you want with the key after that. It's first come first serve as well. Once I get 12 races, that will be it, because we will be starting, and if anyone drops out between then, we'll probably not be adding any other people, mainly because if we already run one race and say 2 or 3 people who signed up don't turn up, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage going through races 2, 3 and 4, even if you can make it. I'm sorry, but that's just the way we'll have to do it. Other than that, it's fine however you want to paint your mech. It's fine with any other builds. As I said, they can be however crazy you want them to be, don't worry about that. No shooting linesman. If you mess around too much, or if you commit too many infractions, such as purposely running too far off the track, dead stopping for too long just to try and get an advantage by being able to kill people maybe further at the back, that's going to be frowned upon, and we'll take it a case by case basis. But if we see someone purposely just trying to sort of dead stop on, say, lap 3, and then they're trying to leg people by just standing there, that's not on. You do have to keep moving as you run. And yeah, if any of the linesmen catch people doing that, we'll just disqualify you, and we will probably have to restart the race if too much damage is caused by someone doing that, because it won't be fair on the other racers. If you win, if you're first, second or third of this season, it means next season you will not be eligible to take part, as you already won prizes previously. Whatever mech I decide for the third season, you are more than welcome to help as linesman, and the following season you're allowed back in. For example, Small Fry won Spec-Racer Locust, so he will be helping this season as one of the linesmen, and the following season he will be allowed to come back in as a competitor. I think that's fair on everybody then, because people who haven't won then have a chance of winning, and I like the idea of now there's more reason for people to play first, second and third now have a chance of winning. And I was looking at the results from last season, and yeah, some people really did pull it back in those last couple of races, so it'll be interesting. And outside of that, any other questions, don't hesitate to ask me in the comments below. I will try and clarify that, and anything I've missed I will add to the description. The description below as well will also have all of the current racers who have signed up. So as I said, once all those 12 slots are gone, they are gone. Anyone who's new to this, who is signing up for the first time, the races will take place on the stream days, which will be Friday every week for 4 weeks. I'm aiming to start the first race on the 10th So I'll be starting the first one November 10th, will be that race. And you will have an opportunity this Friday coming, if you are taking part, to run a couple of the tracks with us. We'll do a quick run of each of the tracks, and will just be madness, just so you can get used to the course, running it, and I will update the description with any of the other rule changes or things that we discover on that particular run through. So yeah, wish everyone good luck, and I hope you have fun through that, and we'll see you on the Fridays. Oh, yeah, I guess I should mention the times, shouldn't I? The stream times on the Friday are based on GMT, and they will be 11 PM GMT. Since the clock suddenly went back, it actually makes sense now as well. So, please bear in mind that recently in the UK, at least for me, I don't know about anyone else, the time went back an hour from when we were starting. So, it's now correct for us, but it may be messed up for you. So just double check it on Google. 11 PM GMT, based on your time conversion. So if you can make it and you can sign up, then please do. And hopefully maybe you'll win a prize. So have a good one, folks. See you next time. Bye. Hello everyone, this is track 1 for Spec-Racer Spider, or Spooder, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So we're on Terra. This will be the first race of the season. The start point is roughly this area that I'm currently looking at. And the checker's flag, so to speak, to mark laps, will be between these two lights. As soon as you cross that point, you are now on a new lap. And the track is thus. It's quite small. I want these to be relatively short for this season, so we can get as much chaos and combat in there as possible, and hopefully increase people's points through kills. So you cross there, you go up, you take a right. You cannot go left. You have to follow this route as I'm showing you here. You continue up to the top. Obviously be careful of the hole. If you fall down, you have to go back round. You go straight along here, do not go left or right. Then you go over this ramp and you drop down. Now, however you want to get back is up to you, whether you want to run along here, over that bit of the ridge. Try not to go in the lava. You can go around the rock there, or you can go over the rock here, however you choose. As long as you get back and you go between the lights, and that is one lap of the Spec-Racer Spider Terra. As I said, you cannot go left here, you cannot go right there, you have to go straight along through this lava channel. If you fall down or you get knocked off, obviously you have to double back round to get back onto the track, and again, you cannot go left here, you must go this way around the track. And I'll run it one more time just so everyone is 100% sure about where they're going. So as I said, be careful of the hole, because if you drop down you're going to have to run back up. Run straight across, up here, and straight down. As I said, you can, if you want, run up there if you want to avoid fire. I don't mind if you want to run under this part of the platform, for instance, and go there. You can go around this rock here. As I said, so long as you go between these two lights, that is perfectly fine. And that is the Terra map. Okay, so a quick run through of Terra here. So as I said, that's the lap marker as long as it's between those two lights. You go along, you go through, be aware of the lava as it will increase your heat, spike you by about 10%. Go up, go right, don't go across there, don't go left there, you go right, go around, don't continue on that way, turn right up here, go across, be aware of the hole below, go over there and jump across. Do not go left, do not go right. We will have people who will be on the areas that you're not supposed to run. They'll keep an eye on things. And then you can continue along here. As I said, if you need to avoid fire, you can go up onto this ridgeline, and then you can travel along and down if you need to. You can continue on there, or you can go under this part. And whether you go around the rock here, or over the rock here, or the long way around this way, is perfectly fine, as long as you start your next lap by going between those two lights. Right, track 2. So this one I wanted to put in River City, and I want to make use of this tunnel. So the start area is roughly this zone, the tunnel exit here, however you want to form up. And this path on this track is going to be pretty open to how you want to take it. You do have to run down this part, and you do have to pass around this building, but from this point onwards, if you want to go over that way, you can. If you want to go the long way around through these buildings, you can. However you feel, if you want to avoid fire, or if you want to take a different angle, because Spec-Racer Spooder, you'll be able to take whatever weapons, equipment you want that you can fit onto a spider, then you may. As long as you get through toward the dropship here, you can go through the dropship, in that section in the middle, you can go over the ramp there, or you can go over the saddle there. I won't be opposed to people going around the tail end of the dropship, but I do think as a racer you will probably be giving up a lot of time. Also, I'd also like to stress that anywhere down here is off limits. You cannot go off the map down here. You have to stay within this zone, basically within the original map zone, if you remember the original Frozen City. So you'll continue through this area, and again, it's going to be pretty open with how you want to traverse through these buildings. You can go up this pathway of buildings, you can go up that pathway, you can go along the far edge along there. The one rule I need you to stick to when you're racing this one is you have to go to the tunnel entrance here. You cannot use the middle tunnel entrance, you have to use the far end one. So you'll be racing all the way around here, and this is where I think it will get pretty interesting once we get round to lap 2, is where you'll be fighting through the tunnel to get back round to the start point. Now, this one is a little bit longer compared to Terra, which was a much shorter race. This track is a bit longer, so this one we're going to probably stick to about 3 laps for this one. And your sort of checkered flag start point area is going to be about here. I'm looking to have Davros on top of that building so we can keep an eye on things. And yeah, so that's where your new lap will start. Don't drop down here at the beginning, as I think that just cuts off too much of the track at the start, and again it will cut off the opportunities for people to get kills in lap 2 when they're running down here, because remember, kills equal points and points equal prizes. Okay, and this is the run through quickly of the River City map. So the start point is roughly in this cave area. When you go past that part of the building, Davros or one of the linesmen will be up here to keep an eye on that. As you cross the line, do not go off here, as I think that cuts a bit too much off the course. So you'll continue along down here, go around this building, and then once you're in this section, if you want to go really, really long way around these buildings, you can. However, you will be giving up a lot of space, but whatever way you want to go around, as long as you go around that building, you are fine. Please try not to go off too far off the track. If you end up down in this space, you're basically off the course. And if you're caught using this as a loop round, we're probably going to get a linesman hunt you down and shoot you. You'll just be disqualified from the race, unfortunately. So try not to do that. But yeah, travelling through these buildings from, as I said, that building onwards is perfectly fine as you go up. You can go through the dropship hole there, you can go over this little ramp here, you can go through the saddle bit there, and if you want, you can go all the way around the dropship, or even jump over it, however you feel, as long as you go across that part of the course. As I said, try to stay out of that kind of area in the sort of middle section. And once you're here, as I said, you can continue straight through on those buildings, you can go between those buildings, you can go all the way around out here through these buildings, and go all the way along, provided you get to the tunnel entrance here to get back round toward the start point. Do not go through the middle section. That will probably have a linesman posted up here to make sure that nobody jumps through there, as that will not be allowed. So, as I said, you want to go through the entrance over here on your lap and straight the way through. And I can imagine on lap 2 this is going to be quite deadly going through this section, and then you go back around to the start point here. So hopefully that'll clear up the locations. There's a lot of leeway on this track, I admit, so I don't expect there to be as many kills on this track, but we aren't going to be running as many laps. It's a much longer course, probably the most complex course of the season, so it's only going to be about 3 laps this one. And yeah, you may be aiming for more so for speed and maneuverability with jump jets and the such, to try and get ahead of people rather than trying to get kills. Obviously, legging will probably be a very, very viable tactic here, as I imagine, going through, and the tunnel is going to be the most deadly spot on the map between laps 2 and coming into the end part of lap 3. Could be anyone's game, basically. So yeah, that's the Frozen City track. Okay, and this is the temperate map that I decided on. This is Forest Colony, as you can see. Start point is going to be this archway, and so you will start, you will run across. However you want to go across, you can sort of sweep around a bit. Now, we're going to be a bit lazy and we're using this pathway for this track, so you just want to continue following along, and you can roughly stay, you don't have to rigidly stick to the path. I mean, if you want to run like that way around or whatever, you want to go around this tree and take the left, you can. If you want to avoid fire and such, obviously you can go up and around here, you can go on these rocks or drop down, but as long as you're sticking to the path, that's fine. So you can go around those buildings a little bit for cover, you can run around. You can't jump over that rock. You continue along the road here, you go across this bridge. You don't go left along there, that's a no-no. You continue down here. Keep following the path, basically. If you want to use the tree, however, to avoid, or you want to stop, or use it for cover, and then you basically turn off and head back toward the archway. Whatever way you want to turn off, at whatever angle. As long as you follow the path up to that point that I showed you. Keep going there. And that is one lap. We're aiming for this one to be... We're not decided yet, 4 or 5. I'll probably announce it on the actual lobby day when we do the drop. So yeah, that's the Forest Colony map. And so yeah, it's a quick flash through using the free camp. So you'll travel along here, go along the path, straight down. As I said, however you feel you want to get around that tree, you can. Continue along. You can go around there. Don't go over this section. Continue along there. Cross the road, over the bridge, take it to the bridge, go left, go up this road. As I said, you can turn off roughly at any point. Obviously, the longer you take to turn off will be detrimental to your positioning in the race, but it may also allow you to get a better kill if you want to give up a little space. And then you back round to the start location. And yeah, that hopefully is clarified any little bits there. Now, race 4 is a classic, but I'll still do the video obviously for anyone who might be new coming into the race. So this is one that I like to call the Fear. So this is the start line, this piece of metal across the roadway there on the bridge. And it's pretty straightforward, this track. You literally just follow the road, kind of similar to the Forest Colony one. You continue along this track. If you ever need to break off, you can for cover, but you will need to get back onto the road to rejoin the race. You can't just continue along or use a little sneaky ramp up there. You can't do that. You take a right here. Again, if you need to break off to avoid any fire using the buildings, you can. Continue along the road, and then you go across this second bridge. If you fall off the bridge, you will either have to double round, but if you're more than halfway across, I'd say if you're on this part and you fall off, then you can use the ramps there to get back up, because you need to continue on the road and you need to go underground. Going through here. And these are all very tight locations, so there's going to be a lot of fire on lap 2. Then you get round to this area. Now, again, however you want to go through, you can run between these buildings. You can go along that road I was just on, you can go between this building. As long as you get back round to the bridge over here for the start of your next lap. This one is relatively short, so it'll be probably the longest one at 5 laps. Or one of the longer ones at 5 laps. And that is the Fear. So we'll do a free cam run of it as well. So yeah, so that's the start point, and you zoom along here. And depending on how you build your spider, it may be quite quick, it might be quite slow, so bear that in mind, because as soon as lap 2 starts and you've got weapons free, there's a lot of exposed area in this map, and you are going to take quite a few hits. Continue along. And as I said, once you get out of here, you don't go to the left side here, but you can go along any of these 3 roads that you can see between the buildings. Obviously, you might be able to run this, but it's a bit more tricky. But I wouldn't be opposed to that as well. As long as you go along any of those road areas, and then you get back onto this piece of road. Not that one, this one. As you come back, and straight to lap 2, 3, 4 or 5, whatever one you're up to at the time. Obviously we'll have linesmen dotted around to be able to keep an eye on anyone doing any cheating. No running through the water on this section either. And yeah, try and stick to that road as best you can when you come back round.